Yo, welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, Now Frazier. And today we got a few things to talk about, but before we get started, could y'all please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe, man. Y'all already know. I know it's been, a few days since I made a video. But before we get started tomorrow, me and Mr. Reggie are going to do the Mean Green podcast. As I said before, our schedules are kind of like, a little off with each other, and I had some things to do on Friday because that was my fault. Mr. Reggie was ready to go, so look for us tomorrow around, I would say like 6:30. I'll put up I don't know what you call that, but like a little notification through the StreamYard app, and then so you can notify y'all, let y'all know what time we gonna hop on. So be sure to look out for the Mean Green podcast episode 6 tomorrow with me and Mr. Reggie Barnes. Also, if you could, for me, please go over there and type in the search bar on YouTube, Bet on Yourself Sports. Go follow my man, Mr. Reggie. We're trying to build these channels up as best we can. We do appreciate everybody that's been, tuning into the podcast, our personal podcast, and also the Mean Green podcast. So I just want to throw that out there before I get into today's topics. So first thing we're going to talk about, and I know I'm a little late, but I got a chance to watch the Hard Knocks episode 2. I will probably, if I have the clip, I'll probably play the clip here. But if you haven't seen the episode, and I do want to give a disclaimer, if you haven't seen it, I'm probably going to spoil it for you. But so don't watch this part. But if you have seen it, the biggest thing, and the reason why I'm talking about it is just because of the Saquon situation. It's giving a little bit of background about kind of what happened with Saquon, and we've been following it here on the channel. But pretty much so, it's Dejean. I know I'll be saying his name wrong, but the GM for the New York Giants. These last 2 episodes, at least from what I'm getting, because this is my perspective on it. To me, I don't know, man. It seems like they're really, and I don't want to be rude, but it don't seem like they really know kind of what they're doing when it comes to like what they're looking for team wise. I know the draft, things change team wise, but like now we can look back on it because all this is old news, but we can look back on the situation. I said before my video about Saquon, I think it was the last video before this. I was sitting there saying like he was coming up with all these different excuses, talking about the analytics show at the age of 27 that most running backs started to decline in performance and things like that. It's not always true, but it was just weird because Saquon's 27 and he went out and signed Singletary, which is either 27 or 26, one of the two, for the same amount of money, and it was just like, what I'm saying? Like, to me, it just didn't make any sense. But they did have a call, which I thought probably should have been a little bit more, unless Saquon agreed to it. And they really didn't say too much, but I thought that was something, you keep behind, closed doors for the simple fact. But it was just nice to see, what's going on in the background when it comes to, teams trying to make the decisions, for the upcoming season or what position they need to go for, how they got to operate and, pay these players that they currently have and, things like that. So it's nice to see, but it just seems like to me, like when the cameras get on the GM, he just starts, maybe that's how he act, but he kind of act like he's acting for the cameras a little bit, you know what I mean? I understand, it might be his first time on TV. It's a big thing on HBO. A lot of people watch Hard Knocks. But at the same time, I just feel like it's not a great look for the organization. Like I said before, you had him trying to convince everybody that Saquon was on the decline, but when you ask, the people in the room, the assistant GM, whoever else is in there, they're asking like, well, already know Saquon's a part of our, the biggest part of our offense. So we get rid of him, then what's our plan? You know what I mean? And hear Joe in the first episode talking about, well, we're going to address that in the draft. And you get to the second episode, and they show him trying to, maneuver to move up. I think they had the 6th pick in the draft, if I'm not mistaken. Do not quote me, but you see him trying to move up in the draft. To get a quarterback after he done said that they were going to go all in with Daniel Jones, which I don't think is the smartest thing, but I'm not a Giants fan. I could care less. And I had said before that if they would last year before, whenever they had paid Daniel Jones, they could have franchise tagged Daniel Jones and paid Saquon. They felt that he was still valuable to the team. But in this episode, and I said, like, if I do have it, I'll show the clip, and I'll make sure I'll play the clip for y'all if I do have it.
Hello?
Saquon.
Yeah, what's up?
You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm chilling. Just chilling with the fam.
You in Jersey right now?
Yeah, I'm in Jersey right now.
Yeah. How's the offseason been? You doing anything?
Yeah, I've been good. Traveled a little bit, but just trying to get back into the grind. offseason treatments.
Yeah. All right, so I just talked to Ed Barry, and I think just mulling over this, the right thing to do is let you test the market and see what your value is. I don't want to do the franchise thing or all that stuff again. I don't want to go through that. We've both been through that. You know, if you really want to be a Giant for life and you're interested in staying here and coming back, just see what your market is and then have Ed come back to us and we'll see if we can come to an agreement.
All right, I appreciate that.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Can you give me your word on that, or you're not going to give us a chance?
What do you mean? Like circling back?
Yeah.
I mean, I already told you where I want to be, so.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do that. We'll go out and see what the market says. I think it's the right thing to do. I love you, man. I appreciate everything you did for the organization. You know, the 2 years I was here, and I'm not saying we're not going to get something done, but I think it's right if for some reason it doesn't work out that you know that the organization thinks the world of you and everything you've done. But hopefully, you know, you go out there, you see the market, and you say, you know what, I want to be here, and you give us a shout back.
All right, I appreciate you.
All right, Saquon, I'll talk to you.
You can hear him talking to Saquon, and you can hear, like, the conversation is just weird. Like, you can hear that, you know, Saquon has already had a discussion. I guess, you know, his agent probably talked to the organization and things like that. So he already knew, you know, what Saquon was looking for. So he makes the call, and he's like, you know, we're going to let you go out and, you know, test free agency, which was, sorry, that's just stupid, because who else are you going to find that's going to come to the Giants organization? You know what I mean? And be as productive as Saquon Barkley. It's hard to find. Even when we got rid of DeAndre Swift, not rid of him, but when he went to when he got picked up by the Bears, in my mind, I'm like, how are we going to replace that? No disrespect, but like, how are we going to replace, you know? And then Saquon Barkley came available, which was, you know, a beautiful thing for us. So, and I know I'm getting people commenting on my videos talking about Giants fans and whatnot. He's washed, he's this, that, and the third, but keep it a buck, bro. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to you, but he was your offense, man. And now y'all got Saquon Barkley and Singletary. Not to say he's not going to be effective in your offense, but at the same time, it's not too many running backs out there like a Saquon. I mean, he's pretty much comparable to CMC if you want to do that. And that's what the GMs have been saying, you know, throughout the league, saying he can have a CMC impact for the Eagles, which we're hoping that's the case. So, but yeah, just the conversation between him and Saquon is really weird. He's sitting here asking, talking about, you know, you're going to circle back, you're going to let us know what the number is so we can, you know, at least have a chance. And Saquon goes on to say, well, he's like, you know where I wanted to be. You know what I mean? It's just that money was funny. So, long story short, man, and I think it was only going to cost like 2 to 3% of their salary cap. I ain't got all my notes. I'm going off the fly here. I do apologize. I'm just trying to get this content out to y'all. But, yeah, man, I just think maybe, I mean, in all honesty, we'll see. Let's put it to you like that. We'll see, because we have to see if he's – and I think he's going to be effective for the Eagles. But like I said, this is all speculation, man. I can't really tell you, you know, exactly what is going to happen until it happens. But like I said, if he has the impact – even if he has the impact like he had with the Giants, because he was pretty much their offense, if he can bring some of that to the Eagles with Kellen Moore, you know, utilizing him in different ways out there on the field, I don't see why he's not better, if not, you know, the same or if not better. So with that being said, man, shout out to Saquon and all that good stuff. I know, you know, like I said, I know some people, Giants fans, are upset saying he's washed and all that. They even this is the crazy part. There's a part in the second episode where Joe Sheen's like, you know, I can sit here and tell him he can be in a ring of honor for the Giants and this, that, and the third. My thing is this: the only ring that, well, I ain't gonna say every player, because it's not every player's aspiration, but the only ring that I think Saquon is even remotely caring about is the Super Bowl ring. So he came to the right place. Hopefully, you know, Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio get this offense and defense together, and we can get right back to that Super Bowl. So, with that being said, let me move on to the next topic, which is still about Saquon. But Lane Johnson, right, was on. I do apologize. I can't think of my man's name, but he was on the show, and I'll play the clip if I have it too as well. But he was on the show, and they had asked him how he felt, you know, about having Saquon on the team. He's just like, it's amazing to have that type of talent on the team. So, you know, the players are very, very, you know, behind Saquon. They love Saquon. Saquon was a captain with the Giants, and he seems like he brought that same mentality over here from what, you know, the different veteran players or just players are saying about him. And like I said, it's a beautiful thing, man, because I think that's a lot of what we were lacking last year. A lot of it just wasn't somebody like, I don't know, like wasn't enough voices out there, wasn't enough leading going on. I feel like with the players. And I'm not going to say nobody name specifically, because like, the stuff is floating out here with Jalen Hurts, and I don't even think that's even true, because, and shout out to Thomas Mott, he had Mekhi Gardner or Mickey Gardner, hopefully I say his name right, but he had him on his show, and he had asked him the question. He's like, with all the speculation that's going on, he's like, how do you feel? How do you feel about Jalen Hurts? And he was like, Jalen cool. He's just a genuine dude. You know what I mean? He's quiet, but he's a genuine dude. He said he was like, I didn't even think he knew my name first year, but he's like, what's up, so and so, blah blah blah. So, that's why I said you can't really buy into the the headlines, the media headlines, because they're just trying to get clicks. They're trying to create some type of narrative to make it seem like that this, because they know this team on paper is one of the top 5 teams in the league, if not top 3, with the roster that we have. And going back to what I said before, we don't like, in my mind, I know what it's going to look like, but at the end of the day, we got to see it. Like, I'm hoping for the best, but you just got to, you want to make sure they're going out there. Training camp starts in about 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, Tuesday, something like that. Not this Tuesday, but I think it's the next Tuesday. So, so the content will be ramping up with that. But I do know, like, with the training camp coming up, it's going to give us a lot of, it's going to answer a lot of questions for us, because I know I'm probably going to get all over the place here, but it's cool, man. Just rock with your boy. And if you like what I'm talking about so far, make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe, man. Always catch this vibe. So, but training camp is going to give us a lot of information that at least I'm looking for, because you got to think, we got a lot going on with the cornerback room, different things going in there. People I seen, and shout out to the other Philadelphia content creators, but I go on their pages, and they ask a question, and the question that was posed, I want to pose it to y'all, because I know I've asked before, but I want y'all to comment below and tell me who is the player that y'all think is going to get cut that we're not thinking about. And like I said before, there's no disrespect to Darius Slay, but I feel as though, and I know you're going to take some type of a cut, whatever the case may be, but maybe they end up trading him, because he's the only player in my eyes that has value on that when it comes between him and, because I know James Bradbury's probably going to not play for us, and that's still up in the air, because we got to find a trade shooter for him. But at the same time, with Darius Slay, did okay last year, but he was out 4 games, had to get his knee cleaned up, and then he talked about him not wanting to tackle like he used to, which I understand as well, because he's getting older, he wants to be there for his kids. I understand that, but it's going to be kind of hard to be like, we got to put Darius Slay out here, and then you got Isiah Rodgers out here shining, you got Quinyon that got to play, and if he does okay in training camp, I'm expecting to see him on the field. Cooper Dejean as well. You got Cooper out there, Keely Ringo. Like, where are all these players going to go? Sean Stevens. Like, where are all these players going to play? So I know some people ain't going to see the field, but like your draftees, your Keely Ringos, your Isiah Rodgers, those are 4 people right there that have to play. And then Darius Slay, they end up keeping him. So depending on if it team needs for us, and then team needs for maybe somebody else, like training camp. People get injured. Hopefully, we dodge that bullet this year. But things happen. People get hurt, and maybe somebody needs a veteran corner. And I was just thinking in my mind, no disrespect to Darius Slay, but like he even has said, this might be his last year. So at least it's the last year of money for him. So him getting older, he's about to be 34 January 1st, and it's just going to be. It would be nice to keep him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to sit there and say we should ship him off. But my thing is this: I'm trying to think of a player in my mind that that still that has value, or that could have value for another team. I also heard about Kenneth Gainwell might be being traded as well, and I like Kenny G, but with depending on how training camp pans out, or preseason, whatever the case may be, if Will Shipley, who I think is in the running for running back too because of his skill set. I know he has some things he needs to work on, but at the same time, with his talent and skill set, I feel like he would be a great running back too. And then Milton as well. Milton's another guy, 6'2", husky, this, that, and the third. Short runs and stuff like that, but he's a power back pretty much. So, he want to break tackles and all that good stuff. So with this youth movement that they have coming in here, it's going to be kind of hard to try to keep some of these older players, I would say. and that's just me. Like I said, I don't know if that's to be true, but just let me know down in the comments who y'all think could be like a person that we're not thinking about that could possibly be traded. So with that being said, man, let's move on to the next topic, man. I also wanted to talk about, pull my notes up here, my fault, y'all. What's that? Okay, so James Jones, right? I know some of this stuff is old, but I said I got to give y'all this content, my opinion on it. So James Jones came out this past week and said that Jalen Hurts doesn't do anything better than Dak Prescott. What are you talking about, James? Okay, like what is that? How do you sit there and say some stuff like that? And maybe I'm not understanding where he was coming from, but I guess if you say skill, he said Dak do everything better than Jalen besides run the ball, whatever the case may be. And that could be true. I'm not going to sit there and say that, but is it effective? And they're winning. No disrespect. Dak shines regular season every year, or most of the years. He shines. Don't get me wrong. I'm no hater. He shines regular season, but when the playoffs come, he's like a deer in headlights, bro. I'll put it to you like this. I won't even go back to the past. I'm gonna just say this. I ain't gonna have to say, maybe I'll say a few stats, but my thing is this. We can go look, and you can't really compare him because Jalen's only been a starter for 3 years, and this is Dak's 9th year as a starter, going into his 9th year. So it's like you can't really compare the two. But in the short period of time of Jalen Hurts, I can sit here and tell you this man has won an NFC Championship game, and he's been to a Super Bowl with a great performance in the Super Bowl. Yeah, he fumbled the ball, but the QBR was like top 1 or 2 of all time for Super Bowl performances. So that's saying something. But I'm seeing things like that compared to Patrick Mahomes and crazy stuff. But my thing is, people don't understand is it effective? Like are you effectively implementing this into the offense? Like, are you effectively scoring these touchdowns? Because in the first half, you might throw for 2-3 touchdowns, but in the second half, you might not do anything. Or like I said, regular season, you might ball out. Playoffs come, you ain't balling, bro. He don't be balling. Like, he throws interceptions, he gets, you know what I'm saying? He don't look like the same player. And then you get the players coming out talking about Dak, talking about they want a different quarterback. CeeDee Lamb's family coming out saying all types of craziness about Dak. So you don't see that with Jalen Hurts. We never, at least me, I've never heard another player say anything crazy about Jalen Hurts. And I'm going to just keep it a bean. That's not because he's my quarterback. It's just I feel as though how he carries it. So, you know what I mean? He demands that type of respect, and then he shows it. He work hard. He do what he got to do. Is there some things that Jalen Hurts needs to work on? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that he need to work on. But like I said, this is going into his 4th year as a starter. As you play, you can see he had a little regression with the turnovers. But between this past year and the Super Bowl year, the only thing that really you can say is the turnovers went up. And I'm not going to sit here and say like he deserved every turnover because sometimes the ball get batted up. You get interceptions, so things be happening. But I think he does. And I'm talking about Jalen Hurts here. I do think he cuts back on those interceptions or those turnovers. He does have to protect the ball a little bit better with the fumbles and things like that. But other than that, man, that's all stuff that he can work on. You know what I mean? It's not nothing that is super hard. Maybe going through his progressions a little bit better because I watch some film. And he be locked on to certain players, and I understand why. But now that he's in an offense where Kellen Moore is running it, and he wants you to utilize all your players on the field and utilizing that middle part of that field, I want to see Jalen this year get better with that. I don't want to see Jalen bailing out of a clean pocket either because I'm sitting here watching film. And I'm no guru. But I know I played Madden, you know what I'm saying? So I know you can stay in that pocket a little bit longer than that, buddy. But I understand because his legs are weapons. You feel what I'm saying? If he think he can take off, then he'll take off. And I do like that. I don't want to take that from Jalen. But at the same time, I would like to see Jalen stay in that pocket a little bit longer this year. Maybe not roll out to his right or left, whatever side he like to roll out to, and just have more of a pocket presence. Excuse me. And yeah, man. So. It's and like I said, everybody has different opinions. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm biased because that's my quarterback, but I will sit there and say like what I just said to you. There's some things that I do want to see Jalen Hurts improve on. So that's not wrong with that. You know what I mean? But to compare him and Dak, I don't think it's a comparison, bro. If you put Jalen Hurts on that Dallas team, I guarantee you they win some more playoff games. All due respect. So, I know Dak's up for $60 million. I hope my man get paid. I know if he get paid and he stay with Dallas, we still got a chance, you know what I'm saying? Because I know they not going nowhere, no disrespect, but they ain't really made no moves this offseason. You bring back Ezekiel Elliott, shit out to him. But so really ain't been no moves down there, and they got a lot of people to pay, man. And it's just players coming out talking about, what's my man name? He came out was talking about I can't think of his name. The linebacker, Micah Parsons, excuse me. Micah Parsons. He was coming out talking about Micah should get paid last, whatever the case may be. They need to take care of CD and then take care of Dak and then take care of Micah. So it's some things going on there. Will it affect them during the season? Who knows? Like I said, training camp is about to start up for most of these teams. And like I said, training camp is going to be a very good indicator of what we hopefully should see during the season. I know I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but I know Baldy came out and was saying that Makai for our team is going to be, a decent addition for the simple fact that he's moving around from is he moving to guard or is he moving from guard? One of the two, y'all know. You know what I'm saying? I'm off the top with it though, but just having Makai being a bigger guy, longer arms, they're thinking, or at least Baldy's thinking, he's going to be very effective for us, and I'm gonna think he will too. So it's a lot of different players that we do have to look out for, like the rookies as well. I see a lot of people ain't been talking about Jeremiah Trotter. He's another person that I do want to see how he does when it comes to that linebacker position, because if you remember, Bobby Kane came out and said that he doesn't make the same mistake twice, which I love to hear because, his dad playing for us, he probably came up under his dad, learning from up under his dad and things like that. But even in college, he was a great, almost, at least to me, he was a great player in what he was doing. So hopefully that translates over to the Eagles, you know what I mean, and he helps out that linebacker room. But it's just like different players that I'm looking to see. And even now, like I said, Isaiah Rodgers, him coming off that year of being home, you know what I mean? Will he, and it seems to be, but will he, be able to make that transition back into the NFL, keeping up with the players? I'm hearing people, Josh and Thomas, they were sitting there saying they watched him because they went to the Devontae Smith's softball game, and they said they were watching him track a ball, and he's like, yo, he was moving, he's fast. So it's good. That's good to hear, but it's some questions that do have to be asked because, like I said, it's a lot of different pieces. Even Devin White as a linebacker, did we get him back to where he needs to be? Is he effective in our defense? So it's a lot of different questions that at least I have going into training camp. But at the same time, I really do think with the coaches that we do have, and I know I'll be saying the same thing, but with the coaches we have, watching the press conferences, and just getting a little gist for what's going on, or at least with what they're giving us, it seems to be like these coaches know how to coach. I said that Clint Hurt could be a defensive coordinator. Like, depending on what happens with, Vic Fangio, if he ends up staying, forever how long, maybe they keep Clint here. I think Clint would be a great addition if they do try to make that transition. But just having him on that line and then having the knowledge that he has, that's great. Bobby King as well, Christian Parker. So the coaches that they brought in, like I said, have a ton of experience collectively. And hopefully they can, spread that out through the young guys and the guys that are there. And they take heed, they take grasp of what they're talking about, and they buy into it. But I really do think, like, like I said, with the addition of these coaches, or just the coaching in general on both sides of the ball, we should see a difference. Like I said, talent got us pretty far last year. It got us to winning 10 games. You feel what I'm saying? Before the collapse, and that's, to me, that says something. Like, I know we fell apart. Things happen. I understand, but I feel as though them first 10 games, they weren't the best games, but talent won them games, man. So if you compare that talent with good coaching, what else would I expect but a Super Bowl, or at least making a nice playoff run? So, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I have for y'all today. I know I was all over the place. I do apologize, but I'm trying to get out here and watch the UFC, man. If y'all don't know, I'm a big UFC fan. Shout out to the Phillies. I'm a big Phillies fan. I know I've been saying I was going to start making some more Phillies videos, but shout out to the Phillies, man. But yeah, man, that's all I have for y'all today. If there's anything that y'all think I should talk about, or any question that you have for me that I can make a video about, that always helps out as well. But with that being said, man, it's now from the No Cut Sports Podcast. If you could, like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe. And please do not forget, tomorrow I'll put up a thumbnail for the Mean Green Podcast, episode 6 with me and my man Reggie Barnes. Please go over to Bet On Yourself Sports after you get done watching this video, or if you don't finish watching the video, just go over it and subscribe to my man Reggie Barnes. And tune in tomorrow, man, and then we'll be here for you, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, man, it's not from no cut, and I'ma holla at y'all. And don't forget, go Birds. I'ma holla at y'all. Y'all be safe.